Funding for the Lazy Bedhead channel was provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
This video is sponsored by Aura. Has this ever happened to you?
I'm going to continue hacking into these government systems to see what I can find out.
Lol, get hacked, loser.
Oh no! I just got all my personal information stolen and sold off into the dark web! They're gonna know who I am! They're gonna know where I live! They're gonna target my friends! They're gonna target me! Whether you're hacking into government secrets or just casually surfing the web, your private information should be your top priority to protect online. You see, websites that you sign up for with your personal information will sell that info to data brokers who will then sign you up for Facebook lotto scams.
Leave me alone. I've got work to do.
And that's why I'm partnering with Aura to protect my personal information by submitting requests to data brokers to remove said information from circulation online. Because legally they have to if you ask. With Aura, you'll get more than just protection from identity theft. You can also manage your passwords, protect your devices from malware with their antivirus protection, and utilize their VPN services across all devices. The most impressive thing about Aura is their ability to trace your personal information into the dark web. They're really going into the deepest parts of the internet for your sake. I mean, isn't that enough to at least give them a try? So, try Aura. Or, get your personal information stolen. Right now, you can go to aura.com/lazybedhead to start your 2-week free trial. That's free 99, except get rid of the 99 because it's free. I value my privacy on the internet, and you should too, which is why you should support the channel by trying Aura for 2 weeks. Thank you, Aura, for not only protecting my personal information, but also for sponsoring today's video.
It is I, the Uncanny Valley! I am joking, of course. It was only a mere green screen, and now I'm a floating head. Ooh. I mean, let's be honest. Is it really a lazy bedhead video if I'm not doing something like weird and stupid? You guys should be used to this by now.
Another day, another bedhead lazy video. The Uncanny Valley. The line drawn in the sand between something that resembles a human being and when it doesn't. As humans, we are pretty good at distinguishing what is and isn't a member of our species. May it be a survival instinct or social familiarity or a psychological connection that we make. Humans are always trying to find patterns of things that look vaguely like us. We feel comfortable interacting with something that is familiar, but when something tries to mock that familiarity, it can be rather uneasy. It's like the equivalent of a pet looking at the mirror for the first time. Like, what they're looking at looks like them, so it must be them, but it's also copying everything that it's doing. Or maybe a better comparison is like when you get a stuffed animal that looks really similar to a real animal, and you introduce that to your pet, and their reaction is just relatable. Things we associate commonly with this uncanny valley are things like humanoid robots or CGI characters in animated movies or video games, or whatever this makeup trend is. My hair is, what the fuck is It's something that resembles human or is trying to resemble a human, but it doesn't look quite right. And that not quite rightness about it is what makes it come across as so unnerving. I talk about this concept of the uncanny valley because I think this concept perfectly describes what it feels like to watch a Neil Breen movie for the first time, and more so fitting with the director himself, the mighty, the powerful, the beautiful, my mighty Breen. Neil Breen. Now this right here, this is the movie review I have been dying to make for a long time.
Lazy and friends, coming to your house tonight to kidnap you and punch you in my bed.
Welcome back, everybody, to another installment of me torturing my friends for your guys' entertainment. If y'all don't know me, let me introduce myself. I'm a lazy bedhead, and I got proposed to at the dumpster of a Taco Bell, the same Taco Bell that I would be banned from for harassment and stalking. If you know, you know. Welcome to episode 2 of Lazy and Friends, where today, me and Morgan are going to be diving into the Breenaverse. Whoa! But before we dive right into the Breen of all trades, I want to give a big shout out to the artist of the Lazy Bedhead show. I wanted to dedicate a special thank you to all of the amazing artists that not only helped me out for this video, but also made me some pretty sweet fan art, which I love with all of my heart. So, a very special shout out to Hank Zarla on Twitter, who made this cute little sketch of me that I adore. And Jamie the Bard, who turned me into a Christmas gremlin, who also likes frogs. Their commissions are actually currently open if you want to go check them out. The links will be in the description below. Oh, and also, the thumbnail art would not have been possible if it weren't for the amazing artist who I commissioned for this collaboration art piece of a thumbnail. So, thank you to Minami Studios for this amazing background piece, Wobbles and Beans for this adorable drawing of myself and Morgan. They also have commissions open if you want to check them out. And Avasarala, who drew our Lord and Savior, Neil Breen. She does a lot of character designs and concept art for Dungeons and Dragons, so if you want to check out some of their artwork that they've done and commission them, not only are their commissions currently open, but you can check out their portfolio on Imager. All of the artists and where you can find them and support their works will all be linked in the description below. Thank you once again for all of the support that you guys have been showing me these last couple videos with the fan art and all of those artists coming forward to help me with the thumbnail. Thank you. I really could not have done this video without you. And now back to the show or whatever. Neil Breen is, or was, a real estate agent from Las Vegas, Nevada. Originally from California, he actually studied and is licensed in architecture. In 2005, Neil would make his first film debut, Double Down. And this movie would garner mainstream attention after coverage from the channel, Red Letter Media, would review the film as part of 3 other films in their movie discussion show, The Best of the Worst.
We see his ball sack! We see his ball sack! He's the best! He has the best ball sack! I'm sorry! I'm so sorry!
The guy, the black guy, and he shoots him in the head!
Who the what? Hey! What the fuck is happening?
Outside of Red Letter Media, Neil Breen would get more exposure from another large YouTuber, Adam from Your Movie Sucks.
Are you tired of this happening to you?
There's got to be a better way!
Try Neil Breen, the only 100% doctor-recommended and FDA-approved way to cure all of your symptoms.
This review of Fateful Findings would amass 3 million views. From these 2 channels would come more coverage from movie buffs online covering Neil's other movies, leading to a cult-like following for Neil Breen that helped him fund 2 more movie projects, Pass Through, which came out in 2016, and Twisted Pair in 2018. Neil Breen writes, produces, directs, edits, and stars in all of his movies, usually as the main character with either some form of fantastical power or superior intellect. In the movie Double Down, Neil is an ex-US agent who is hacking into Las Vegas, I think? To be honest, it's been like 5 years since I've seen Double Down. I don't really remember what happens in it. His next film, I Am Here Now, is literally just Neil Breen playing alien space Jesus. In Fateful Findings, Neil develops superpowers from a rock whilst also trying to hack into the government. In Pass-Through, I think he's supposed to be like an artificial intelligence. I think. And in Twisted Pair, I shit you not, Neil Breen plays two people at the same time. I've personally known about Neil Breen for years now, and he has always fascinated me. So much so, I couldn't keep this knowledge to myself. Morgan and I once again sat down to share another amazing movie viewing experience. Needless to say, it went about as well as you would expect.
I don't have a brain anymore. This movie killed it. Actually, no. I think this brain, or this, wow.
your brain really isn't here at all.
So what this movie does to you is when you watch it, it's like, you get the feeling of doing mushrooms by watching it. And I would have no clue because I don't know what mushrooms do.
I think my cat's playing in your boot.
Oh, I mean,
He's like sticking his whole head inside the boot.
I put my laces away so that cats can't do that. You cheater.
If you want to watch the full podcast episode, you can get access through my Patreon. But without further ado, let's review Neil Breen's 2013 mushroom trip masterpiece, Fateful Findings from 2013.
Morgan, welcome to the Breeniverse. How do you feel about your first introduction into the one and only Neil Breen?
I think there's no going back.
Really? This is a cult.
Oh shit, I didn't mean to join another one. This is great.
This is gonna be a wild fucking ride, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know how to
Pack it up. This is by far the craziest fucking thing we've ever seen in our lives. Now, in terms of the starring cast of this film, there really isn't like a ton of information about them, and this is mainly because past actors that Neil has hired for his other movies are usually people that he found through Craigslist ads. However, there are some things I was able to find out about some of the actors. The lead actress who plays Leah in the film is actually a modeling agent named Jennifer Autry. Also, weird fun fact, but she was in an episode of Angel, that Buffy the Vampire spinoff. I don't know if anyone else has seen that show. I watched it when I was like 14, but I've never seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so I had no context as to what the fuck was going on. Other than I knew this actress was fucking Daphne from the Scooby-Doo movies. Like, that was it. That was all I knew. Daniela Andrade, who plays Allie in the movie, has actually been in a few Nickelodeon and Disney Channel projects, mostly as uncredited background characters. Also, she was in a 6ix9ine music video, so that's interesting. And I have to make a correction in regards to this actress, Clara Landrant. Originally, during our conversation, I said that her and Victoria Viveros, who plays Amy and Emily in the film, were porn star actors from Craigslist. I don't know. She's clearly just like a porn star that Neil Breen got to be in this fucking movie. And the reason I came to this conclusion is, well, one, because of their acting.
I'm so glad you could all come for dinner.
We're glad to visit.
I want you to try this new wine.
I'd love to try your wine.
And two, they don't wear bras throughout the entirety of this movie. I feel like most of the women, and I'm not trying to like dog on anybody, right? Because I'm like, make your bag, like whatever.
Right.
And I respect whoever. But none of these women wear bras throughout the entirety of this movie. And I mean none of them. And
not
they
even
all...
on my favorite character.
Well, I was wrong in assuming that. Whilst Victoria herself hasn't been in anything remarkable other than Fateful Findings, Clara is actually an Israeli actress who is actually in an Academy Award-winning TV show from last year called Late Night Stories. So even though 10 years ago, she starred in what is considered by the Button-Umathon Film Festival as the worst film ever made, she ended up actually being somewhat successful.
The film was screened on December 8th, 2012 at the invite-only Button-Umathon Button-umathon?
Button-umathon?
Yeah.
Is that what it fucking says?
That's what it says.
What
Had a
the
public
fuck?
festival on May 23rd. Obviously, I wasn't paying attention. Oh, and it was released to theaters early 2014.
Oh, it actually made it into theaters. That's fucking insane.
Props to him.
Good for him. We don't hate Neil Breen. We're just really confused.
No, he doesn't give you a chance to hate or love him. You just, I don't know anymore.
Does it tell us a budget on the fucking Wikipedia? I don't know.
I'm trying to find it. Upon release, it was declared one of the worst films ever made.
Oh my god.
And quickly gained a cult following.
So, because of that, I apologize, Clara, for any unintentional misinformation. But you gotta admit, with acting like this, can you honestly blame me?
He isn't writing another novel. He's writing about government secrets.
I mean, to be fair, if she's in, an award-winning TV show, her acting must have gotten, somewhat better, so good for her. Although, weirdly enough, when I was looking up the cast list on Google for Fateful Findings, the actor who plays the character Jim is credited to a dead actor who died in the 1970s named David Silva. Now, this is a very obvious mistake on Google's part, but I would like to think that Neil Breen is so powerful that he has the ability to bring David Silva back from the dead to star in his movie.
The movie begins with stock footage. Which, considering that, I'm used to that by now, because I use stock footage in my own fucking videos, so I can't even be fuck you, Neil Breen, don't use stock footage, get your own shots. What are you doing, Neil? And there's just me using fucking stock footage. I'm gonna put stock footage right behind you right now. Oh. I promise it won't be Carol Baskin this time.
I was gonna say, don't do it. Godzilla's fine, he's great.
Put him back there. So listen, I'm not gonna lie, reviewing this movie and remembering what happens in the movie is probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Because things just happen in Fateful Findings and none of it really correlates or means anything. And because these scenes just sort of happen, it's very hard to remember what happens, when it happens, where, why we're here. So I'm gonna try my best to try and explain the plot. Neil Breen's character Dylan and his childhood friend Leah spend a summer together where they discover a magical mushroom and obtain a rock that Neil holds onto for the entire movie. And I literally said,
this is how it starts.
I literally said during the just us watching, I'm just this is literally just Mitch and Jess going on a fucking hike. Oh, yeah. And they find a mushroom, they go, oh my god! So the mushroom, they point it out, they go, mushroom! And then it fades out into a box? I guess the kids have to point out this mushroom because it's growing in such an inconvenient place. It's mushroom! Oh my god! And the kids are like, it's a magical day! And they say it twice.
It's a magical day. It's a magical day.
And then she writes it in her book. She's like, it's a magical day.
And she writes it. You have lines, child.
You got so mad.
It's kind of good you don't know how to do them, but
Morgan, I know you're getting mad at this kid for not using the guidelines, but just look at my notes. Look at what the fuck this movie did to me. Look at the insanity that's happening on the pages.
Okay, but
I tried to stay within the lines, but this clearly just look at this fucking shit.
But listen, Morgan is losing her mind.
Alright, listen. There's just typos. There's nothing's spelt right.
I'm gonna use a different page. Alright. Sydney wrote like this. She did this.
Across the fucking line.
That's a waste of space unless you're gonna turn it to an art page, which I respect.
Thank you, Morgan.
Other than that, she's wrong.
Leah's father is transferred and she moves away, and that is the last time that Neil ever sees her.
And have you noticed in this scene too that she's driving away, right? Her parents are like, we need to get to the airport. But as she drives away, this is the slowest car ever as this little 8-year-old kind of follows them behind.
Oh yeah, because he's literally 3 feet behind
He's
them.
Leah! Dylan! And it's this car chase that is going at approximately 10 miles an hour.
Why is that also giving a nod to VelociPastor?
We're back, baby!
You know what part I'm talking about.
James!
Adeline!
James!
We're never living that.
Leah! Leah!
Adeline! Adeline!
Cut to years later, and old-ass Neil Breen is walking across the street on a phone call with his wife.
We don't get to learn this wife's name until like 50 minutes into the movie, so we're just gonna tell the audience, this is Emily.
As he walks across the street, he drops his phone and is hit by a car.
Just straight up.
Whoa, you're missing a part though.
What?
The best part. I'm a witness.
Oh my God!
Call 911. Call 911.
Is he dead? Is he dead?
It's the Rolls Royce that hit him. I saw it. I'm a witness.
Is he breathing? Is he okay?
So we have all this fucking Neil Breen's dying, like, I guess dying, like, because he got hit by a car. And we have all these shots of these random guys going, is he okay?
Is he okay?
Is he alright? And there's just one guy, he's just like, it was the Rolls Royce that hit him. I'm a witness.
I saw it.
I saw it. And I'm like, good for you, I guess. Like, I don't think you needed to clarify that.
Neil Breen is in a carpeted hospital for some reason in critical condition.
So the Joker toxins that are getting inhaled into his fucking face through this mask, but at the same time, he's also got like an oxygen tube over his bandages.
Right.
So my question is, first of all, if you have the oxygen mask on, I don't think you need the tube on top of that, right?
I don't think so. If you have something going into your nose, usually that's like to...
Well, they're both different types of breathing apparatuses. One's just a mask that like covers both your nose and your mouth, so you get both circulations. The other one's directly in your nose. Why would you need both then? I don't think you need that
function.
I mean, I guess if you get hit in the head that hard, I guess you do need both. But at the same time, my other question is, why the fuck is the tube like all the way up here? There's a shot of this for a long time. You get to see the whole setup of Neil's whole thing. And I'm looking at this, right? Now, this is just me studying face anatomy because I'm an artist, right? Nose holes usually, like your nose ends like right underneath your cheekbones. So like normally speaking, it ends up here. This fucking nose thing is like here. So either his nostrils are right where his fucking eyeballs are, or they just kind of layered it atop his fucking ridge of the nose.
They literally just put it on his mask and called it. He's like, I don't want it actually in my nose. Can we just like move it up a bit?
I don't know.
Yeah, sure. So cause, like, I think we were talking, or you mentioned like it's like, did his nose just go?
Yeah, did they fucking...
He fucking just break that for you.
they broke it so far that he looks like fucking Voldemort. When this familiar doctor with a very familiar bracelet comes in and checks on him, a magical wind awakens the phantom of the Neil Breen as he walks out of the hospital, where we see a nice glimpse of Neil's ass. You know, Neil Breen's like acting range when it comes to nudity is very bizarre, because when Neil Breen's character has like sexual proclivities with his other like actresses, he only shows the shirt like falling to the floor, and then Neil is like, we'll just come to the next conclusion on that one. But at the same time, even though he won't show his character Dylan having sex with other female characters, for some reason he'll still sit in this like trash bag world fully naked. So either Neil just doesn't want to be naked around these other actresses, or they don't want to be naked around him. I'm gonna go with the latter on this one. Neil returns from the hospital and immediately takes a shower with his wife. Despite nearly bleeding to death in the shower, Neil is totally fine and returns to work, where this happens.
Leave me alone.
Now, Neil and Emily have these two friends that are married, Amy and Jim, and they have a daughter named Allie, and they are constantly fighting throughout the entirety of the movie.
Yeah, and
this argument
drunk.
is basically just like he's an alcoholic and she doesn't like that he's an alcoholic, and he wants to have sex with her,
but
and
she's not gonna
just
leave
like,
him.
I'm very pissy. My job sucks.
I'm very busy.
Have you noticed too? Everyone in this movie is fucking miserable. Like everyone is always complaining about anything. Fucking Jim's complaining because he's not getting any fucking head.
So no head?
Amy's mad because whatever. Allie's upset because I guess
Allie's sad. So
Allie's mad because she can't get with Neil Breen.
Which is
Emily's upset because her job also sucks and she's a junkie. Neil Breen is the only person in this movie that's like somewhat.
He's going through stuff, but he's not He's still going through
Still
and hacking
going
the
through
government.
something. Oh my god.
It's at this point in the movie, now that the main conflict of Neil getting hit by a car, now that that's fully concluded, the only thing of note that comes from this is him having these weird dreams of being what I can only describe as literally just trash bag world. And because of his injury, Neil is starting to have these seizures that make him do this. A commonality that you'll notice between like Neil Breen movies, but it's more common in like this one, is all of the laptop abuse.
Rename this to I Hate Laptops. What are you reading right now?
I'm trying to find the budget, I swear, but
Rename this to I Hate Laptops.
oh god. I've gone too far.
Of laptops that are just never turned on ever. These are most likely just like junk laptops and are primarily used as props, not ever meant to like turn back on, obviously. And Neil Breen beats the hell out of them.
No more
Fingers!
I'm feeling less stable.
Neil's character is an author who is working on his next book. But actually, he's not working on a book. Plot twist, he's hacking into the government. Neil Breen's character explains out loud to himself that he is hacking into the government to find national secrets that he knows is going on.
Neil Breen is fucking crazy.
Yes.
But we love him. So,
and because he's crazy,
he's hacking into the government.
Right.
I'm going to continue hacking into these government systems to see what I can find out about all this national and international corruption I know is going on.
And the craziest part about Fateful Findings is that you don't even know about this whole like hacking into the government thing until 30 minutes into the movie. What happens in the meantime from Neil Breen getting hit by a car to then discovering this whole government hacking thing is absolute fucking nonsense that adds up to literally nothing. Neil's wife is a pill junkie that fishes out pills from the toilet.
My pills.
My pills.
Where are my pills? And then she goes and then she kind of pockets some of them. She's like, I got your pills. Thank you.
I don't want them
I don't
anymore.
need these. I don't need them anymore. And
Literally.
he drops them in the toilet. Does not flush the toilet. If he's trying to get rid of these drugs, he probably should have done that.
Oh yeah, he got every opportunity to stop. He set her up.
He did. Neil Breen, you're the supplier.
You're the problem.
He really is the problem because he doesn't help this woman at all. No. She's like so desperate for painkillers, she's picking him out of the toilet that Neil Breen poured him into. Oh god, that's so nasty. That's so gross.
That's so nasty.
Like, she already pocketed some. Why does she need to get more?
Yeah, why do you need more?
That are like already like disintegrating into the fucking vat. Like,
yeah, that was a weird thing. It didn't look like they were, but like you should be. Most pills would anyway.
Neil's therapist sucks and just keeps pushing pills onto Neil Breen. They have a dinner scene where there is literally no food, and Jim is an alcoholic who is literally the worst character.
Oh, this is where I also wrote Jim sucks.
I also wrote Jim sucks. Why did we both write that?
Because he sucks.
Yeah, this would technically be the car scene, too, where she goes in there, she's like, you like this car more than you love me! And he's like, yeah, right now! I guess that's why we wrote Jim sucks. Because he does suck. He's always drunk. He fucking complains about never getting sex from his wife, and then he fucking flirts with Emily at one point.
Right,
straight up.
And
he always is like, he's the clumsiest character in this movie because he's knocking shit over all the time and doesn't apologize for it. He's just like, oh well.
Oh darn, I knocked this over.
Fuck me.
I hate this man. Honestly, I should give Jim a little slack because he's not the only one with problems. Everybody in this movie is either addicted to drugs or alcohol. Everyone hates their jobs, their lives are shit, and Neil is the trash man with mirror powers. It's It's a bunch of shit that makes no goddamn sense whatsoever, and we get all of this before we even talk about the main plot of the movie. How did we let this happen? There's a lot of nonsense in this film that, again, literally amounts to nothing. Some of these things include a magical golden book, the Men in Black, the Trash World, Neil Breen's first book that we have no context of what it's about. Hell, Neil Breen's powers actually don't do anything or have any impact on the story until this one scene 60 minutes into the movie. There is so much useless shit that doesn't amount to anything that honestly, I can skip talking about all this altogether because I shit you not, I swear to you, they really don't matter. I honestly just don't understand why Neil doesn't just stick to the premise that was introduced at the beginning of the film. Here's his characters, Dylan, Leah. They seemingly have these powers that turn a mushroom into treasure, and then they get separated only for years later to meet back up, perform the same mushroom trip ritual, and then they fall in love. Like, that right there is a sensible movie. All of that happens in this movie, and that's like the main storyline, and that's fine. But on top of all of that, there's also all this like government hacking nonsense and something to do with a rock that transports him into the trash land, and his wife is a drug addict. His friends hate each other so much that one of them murders the other one and makes it look like a suicide.
Neil Breen is like walking up to their house door or whatever, and as he's walking up to the house door,
he's like,
they're in the garage.
Yeah.
And she comes out with the gun and says, I'm gonna shoot this damn car out full of holes. No, don't. And he fucking kills him.
Just dead.
And he dies.
No.
Jim! Amy!
You know, I find it impressive that her intention was, I'm gonna shoot the damn car up full of hose, and then the one shot she has gets him directly in the fucking neck.
Well, I guess she listened to Eminem. If you had one shot.
If you had but one shot, it would not be to shoot the damn car up full of holes.
Apparently, she really didn't want to shoot the car.
She wanted mom's spaghetti.
And she
all
got
over the fucking pavement.
Mom's spaghetti was granted.
He killed himself! He killed himself!
She fucking pushes her out. Call 911! Neil Breen to the rescue. Pulls up his friend. First of all,
Props
if my
to
friend
him.
ever was in an incident where they got a gunshot literally anywhere, my first reaction would not be to like cradle you like a baby, lift up your arm over your face, and then fucking wipe your blood all over my fucking face. Like,
let me stick like... Oh, let me stop the bleeding that's...
Let me find out where you get shot. Like, fucking try to plug up the hole with my thumb.
Yeah, like, he gone.
But not, like, fucking cradle you. Go, Jim. Call 911. Jim.
I mean, you'd like to think that you'd be that person that's like, no.
Right.
But really, you're gonna be like...
I don't want to touch a dead body.
My fingerprints... They're gone. Fuck. And then you have the range
Neil
of
Breen
emotions
literally
that
made
this
himself
movie will
a
never
fucking...
have.
He ruined that crime scene. Whatever fucking crime scene that is, he fucking ruined it completely.
Oh, that's what happened.
This is
Okay,
this is the fucking line.
I can't believe you committed suicide. But with no emotion.
Yeah, I can't believe you committed suicide. I cannot believe you committed suicide. How could you have done this? How could you committed suicide?
I can't believe you committed suicide. I cannot believe you committed suicide. How could you have done this? How could you have committed suicide?
I don't even know
I
when
can't
that
pull you
scene
out of
was.
this one, Jim.
I
Out of
can't
everything
believe-
we've out of all the things we've been through, I can't pull you out of this one. No shit.
I can't help you out of this one, Jim. With all we've been through, I can't pull you out of this one.
And their daughter is flirting with Neil Breen.
Please stop. You can't do this. Please, don't do it anymore. Are you going to stop? You can't do this anymore.
It's just too fucking confusing. There's too many things going on. It's driving me insane. But yeah, anyway. We find out about Neil's plan to expose the government. Meanwhile, he's working with a new therapist to understand the powers of the rock, or something. How this lady knows about these powers or how the power is gonna help Neil Breen like expose the government is never explained, although I doubt it even matters because she probably wasn't real to begin with. Neil Breen's wife at some point accuses Neil of having an affair, but it's not like there was anything that Neil has done up until this point or is currently doing to indicate that at all. However, Neil responds to such a ridiculous claim by acting like the most suspicious person. She's looking at him like, it's true, you are having an affair. And he's like,
it's not, wait, no. That is not true. Are you sure? We can't tell when you do that.
No, that is not true.
But that's, you think like
why would you do?
When I saw that scene, I thought,
There's no
okay,
one
are we about to see an affair pop up? Which we did, but not right
until
then.
like later, not until
Yeah.
like what, fucking 60 minutes in the fucking movie.
I thought it was like 20 minutes later.
don't
God
fucking
damn.
So Neil explains that he's not actually having an affair, but he is actually hacking into the government. And what's crazy about this conversation is that Neil has had this conversation with Emily twice.
It's going to shock the world. I've hacked into just about all the information I need. They have no idea. I've been hacking into government and corporate international secrets all over the world.
What? So that conversation goes completely nowhere, and we sort of kind of forget that Dylan is hacking into the government for a bit, because now it's time to meet up with the childhood friend, Leah.
Is that you? It is, isn't it? It's you, Leah.
So it's made very obvious in the movie that this doctor who checks up on Neil is actually Leah. And we know this is the case because not only does she still wear the ugly ass bracelet that she made for herself as a child into her late 20s, but also she hangs on to this book that she writes in at the beginning of the movie in her small back pocket where it obviously does not fit in there. So even though I said that Neil Breen's wife accuses Neil of having an affair with no proof, he figures, since Leah's here, he might as well start having that affair. Genius, I know. Isn't Dylan such a great character? After this pool scene, we have another pool-related incident where Allie, who is Jim and Amy's daughter, tries to seduce Neil Breen.
Allie shows up in a bikini and is takes her top off. And which is so random, by the way.
I know. First of all, she's not even enjoying this pool. She goes in this pool, standing on the steps and going splash.
Yeah, like
splash.
A 3-year-old.
Trying to
get in and swim. Did your parents not teach you? I mean,
Morgan, do you want to teach Allie right now how to start swimming?
All right. So first of all, don't take your top off. Second of all,
you just do this.
And maybe don't.
Morgan, you don't know the things that you have allowed me to do.
Don't want to know. I'll know eventually, but I don't want to know.
It'll be totally fine. I'll just probably put an ocean behind you or whatever the fuck.
Can you put the Loch Ness Monster in there? Just for fun. It's in Neil Breen's spirit because we don't know what's going on. I'm just
I'll make you swim in fucking blood.
That would be so fitting. Because they have so much blood.
Yeah, you're swimming in the blood of Neil Breen.
Yeah. With my top on. Take a hint.
I'm gonna give Neil the benefit of the doubt and say that he wrote this character to be an of-age college student or something, right? But I swear to God, if this character is intended to be any less than the age of 18, I'm gonna call the police. I mean, honestly, when you look into the camera like that, this is a clear sign for help.
Oh, you can come over and use our swimming pool anytime you want. Remember?
So there's this scene where Emily, Neil Breen's wife, is blaming herself for Jim's death.
I can't believe you committed suicide.
For context as to why, during the pool barbecue scene, Jim tries to flirt with Emily despite the both of them being married, whilst he's being an obnoxious drunk asshole. Now, Emily, I get that you were friends with Jim and all, but I don't think you have to blame yourself for his suicide because you rejected his sexual harassment. I think you made the appropriate response. And does Neil comfort his grieving wife while she blames herself for her friend's suicide? No, of course not. They have like 2 scenes of them grieving his death, and then Neil starts cheating on his wife right after as she slowly overdoses on drugs.
So Emily is like fucking going through it as Neil Breen is actively cheating on her. Which sucks. In this moment, I feel bad for her. Like, yeah, she's on drugs, but that's just because like Neil Breen had a shitty therapist.
She chose a bad coping skill, and like I said while we're watching it, you ever heard of hot Cheetos?
You did say that. I have written in your fucking notes. Have you ever considered hot Cheetos? You're seeing this woman going through it, fucking overdosing on pills until she dies. And Morgan, during the fucking viewing, was like, dude, has this girl just like ever considered eating hot Cheetos instead?
I think it would work for her. I mean, the pills gotta do. I don't know what they do.
Fucking God. So he comes home to see Emily's dead. Yeah, and he's trying to act like simple, like just like, it was you. It was always you. And I'm like, no, the fuck it wasn't. You knew it wasn't.
What does that even mean?
What does that even mean, first of all? And second of all, no, it fucking wasn't. Because when she accused you of having an affair, even though you had not met up with Leah back, you acted so fucking suspicious. I don't think you ever loved this woman ever. Like,
no, you're just out here like in your rock world being naked. And then you're with Leah being half naked. Which is... whatever.
Neil Breen's range is very interesting. He's willing to be full buck naked, but he's not willing to fucking go to third base. He's like, second base is fine by me. Also, I love being naked on film.
Neil Breen immediately invites his new girlfriend in to live with him and barely grieves his dead wife. And he explains to his new boo that he is hacking into the government. Oh, did you forget that he was still doing that? Don't worry, so did I. It's been like 30 minutes since he last mentioned it. Also, I know this seems like weird to ask now since we've been kind of talking about it for a while, but like, why does Neil want to hack into the government and expose all of their secrets anyway? Like, if we had scenes of him living in like a corrupt government dystopia, I would get that. But Neil is so bad at world building that we stay relatively in the same house that Neil rented to film for the majority of the movie. The only times that we aren't in like this house location is when Neil Breen goes into the woods to take mushrooms, goes to therapy, has an acid trip in the desert, rescues Leah from a storage container, and gets hit by a car.
Wait, please don't do this. You don't have to keep running me over for a funny meme. We can find peace and not have to continue this senseless violence. Please, I just want to live.
Oh wait, yeah, I guess I should give context to the rescuing Leah thing. So, shocker to no one, as it turns out, if you keep telling your loved ones that you're currently hacking into the government, eventually they're gonna get targeted by the government. Oh my god, who would have thought? So Leah is kidnapped in the worst kidnapping scene I have ever seen in my entire life.
We have this fucking dude who's like dressed in all black and like he's got what I assume he's trying to do chloroform or something, but it's clearly just like
hydrogen peroxide.
It's hydrogen peroxide. And they have this little scuffle where she goes, no, get out of here, and like pushes him like this. And then, for whatever reason, in the attempts to push him, she's also turning her back to him.
Yeah, let's turn your back to, unless
like
you're
going,
running
get
away.
Out of here. It's like, why are you turning your back away?
Oh, don't kidnap me.
Don't
Oh no, my
stop
back
it.
is
Oh
facing
no.
you.
Like, what?
Oh no, how did this happen? Maybe because I turned my back to him.
It's the worst kidnapping ever. I hate it. It's like,
it's so bad.
It's
right up there. It's right up there with the daughter trying to like.
Yeah, like fucking.
Like. Oh, I was talking about when with the mom like.
Oh,
Dad.
Dad.
No, Allie. Dad, don't go in there. Dad. Don't look. Dad.
So this part is fucking stupid because Neil does find where Leah is being held captive, but it's only because the kidnapper had like a card with instructions on how to kidnap Leah and where to take her, and he just drops it to the ground during the kidnapping. I don't understand why Neil couldn't have used the power of the rock to find out where Leah is. I mean, it would give the rock some purpose and something to do. This movie makes me feel like I'm taking fucking psychedelics. Oh, and let me tell you, Neil Breen is a true action star, man. He even does his own stunts.
He finds the dude sleeping like next to the storage container.
God, how did
and
you forget?
He fucking grabs it. He's like, where is she?
Where's the lock?
Where's Leah? And he's like, I don't know who that is. You just kidnapped her. What do you mean you don't know who that is?
Yeah, don't even try to lie about
Don't
it.
even try to lie. He's already there. So he fucking is like, give me the key to the lock. And he's like, I don't have the key. Give me the key to the lock.
I don't know where it is.
Picks up a fucking bottle. Give me the key. I don't know. Smashes
Now
it.
you don't.
Now you know.
Now you
Fuck
have a
you.
brain
Neil
injury.
Breen is fucking epic.
Where is she?
Who?
Leah!
I don't know who that is.
Give me the keys to these locks.
I don't have any keys.
Give me the key to the
I
lock.
don't have a key. I don't know anything.
Give me the key.
I don't have.
Now, you'd think at this point, after saving Leah and whatnot, the movie feels like it should just end here. Like, sure, there's a lot of, like, loose plot holes and, like, things that we haven't really concluded on, but I feel like this would be a great stopping point. Just kind of show Neil exposing the government, and I feel like that would have concluded at least the main plot of the movie that we give a shit about, right? We still have 20 minutes left, and within those 20 minutes is some of the most nonsensical bullshit I've ever seen in my life. And it drags the movie for so long that honestly, I'm just gonna skip it and go to the movie's fantastic ending. Neil does release all of the government secrets, and in that moment of having all of their dirty work exposed to the public, these government officials all decide not only to resign from their office jobs, including president of the bank,
I resign today as president of the bank.
but also they all simultaneously decide to just kill themselves.
I'm afraid of going to prison. They now know my crimes.
Brings out a gun to his head and just fucking kills himself.
Like, no, you didn't. You made the first step. Why did you
I like
end
that
it?
these politicians are being honest with us. Good for you.
Yeah.
But also, we didn't really need you to kill yourself.
He literally read the book on, like, you know, making yourself better, and he took step 1 and made his own step 2. And, like, no, read the rest of the book. This is why you don't abuse the book.
All right. How to hold yourself accountable when you're a shitty person. Step 1, admit fault. Step 2, kill yourself.
Apparently is what the message they got.
All of these politicians slowly, one by one, decide to just kill themselves. It's really fucked up.
Whatever book they read, I hope has been burned.
I'm not
That's
a
the only
fan of
book I condone.
politicians. I will let everyone
Yeah.
anyone knows me. I hate politicians.
I hate politics.
I hate politics. Politicians, they all suck. But I don't want anyone to fucking kill themselves.
That wasn't
I don't
the
think
answer.
Suicide is not the answer.
Please get
Suicide
help if you are
is-
feeling sad.
Yeah, if you're feeling sad, don't kill
Don't.
yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you mess up, it might really hurt.
You limit your possibility.
Yeah.
And like I said, like, you could have gone to the shelter and made
And yeah,
soup.
maybe, I guess they were gonna go to jail, but honestly, it's just like, if you agree that what you did was fucked up and you're just like, holy shit, I did all these crimes and now they're getting exposed, bro, just take the fucking L. Go to jail.
What an amazing ending. The greatest, I would say, in cinematic history.
Normally, like, in stuff like this, I wouldn't talk about, like, the credits, right? Because the credits is the end of the fucking
Right.
movie. And we finally get to see all the credits. And we see that Neil Breen's credited for a lot of stuff, like editing.
Which I think we knew.
Direction. Yeah, we knew. We didn't know
But we
how
didn't know
much he actually did. Because in the credits, there's a bunch of people that are, like, credited for catering and for the lighting, and it's all these different companies.
Yeah.
Except they're not real.
They're all fake.
They're
lied
all
to us.
fake. Any fucking company that you see in the credits that has the words N or B in it is a fictitious fucking LLC that Neil Breen made up. Why would you fucking do that?
He got bored at the end. He's like, you know what? Let me just
Neil
add a little
Breen
spice to my
fucking
credits.
Gaslit me. Why did he do that?
Can you call this getting gaslit by
Getting
Neil
gaslit
Breen?
by Neil Breen.
You know what? At least, At least we got the confusing one out of the way.
That's true. Yeah.
And Patreon, we appreciate.
Thank you so much for recommending this fucking crazy movie. But also,
why would you do this?
Why would you do this to me?
But honestly, it was an entertainment that I can't forget because it's forever stuck in my brain in a way that I will forever make jokes about it and kind of hurt my soul a little bit. I'm really conflicted on this, actually.
Velocipaster's like fun and goofy and everything.
Right.
And I say this is at the same level of fun and goofy. It's just
chaotic.
Really chaotic and really fucking confusing. To a
Confusing
point where
very much.
I really wouldn't. Not that I wouldn't recommend it. I absolutely would recommend
Yeah,
Neil Breen to anybody.
It's an experience. That's the word. It's an experience.
Neil Breen is an experience, yes.
And
I have nothing against. I have nothing against Neil Breen personally. I know we make fun of him on this thing, but nothing against him personally. He's chasing a dream, and I feel for that. I respect that a lot, actually, for someone who's been like working a regular ass job for years or something. Be like, I'm just gonna jump into being an independent filmmaker. I made all this fucking money.
I'm gonna make a movie.
No,
he went from real estate to like, I'm bored of this, and went for a movie, which is like a respectable
I
move.
respect the hustle, man.
Like the
not a lot of people have the
boldness.
fucking balls to do that.
Yeah, no.
But also, Neil, can I be honest with you for a second? This is bonkers. So, would you say, like, because we've watched Velocipaster, right? And I know that we haven't watched a lot of, like, crazy bad movies, but would you say, like, that Neil Breen Fateful Findings is, like, up there in, like, how crazy it is?
It is very up there in how crazy it is. And I think it's... okay, it's on a whole nother tier.
Yeah.
If we were to make a tier list.
We can't even fucking put this in the same rankings as, like, Velocipaster.
No,
'Cause
Velocipaster is like
crazy.
a solid A or S for me at the moment.
Velocipaster is crazy, but that's because it's campy. This is
Yeah.
crazy because this is the mind of a 50-some-year-old deciding to make a movie and having no idea what the fuck he was doing.
There's
but
like
still having the hustle to try.
Yeah, there's like 0.1 of cohesiveness in this.
Well, hopefully we can watch another Neil Breen movie, or
preferably
maybe Lamageddon, which I feel like we should.
I kind of would like
watch.
to do Lamageddon next, but like I said, I'm down for anything.
I know you're literally down for anything, which is great.
Whee.
So, subscribe to the channel.
Enjoy
support
Neil
the
Breen.
Patreon if you want to see obviously the full unedited version of the podcast. You can get it on Patreon. Give me money.
Appreciate her YouTube.
Yeah, please do. I don't torture people like this just because.
Yeah,
I want to.
I'm not
for
money.
I'm not a bad person.
She only tortures people for money, and she makes it entertaining. Give her
money to torture more people.
No,
I feel like it's a horrible way to put that, but whatever.
No, it's
the
fine.
end. Goodbye.